Well, Oregon does it again. As I've been going through some more of the Senate bills that have been proposed for the state of Oregon, there's one being proposed. It's called Senate Bill 526. And it looks like this proposed bill could ultimately lead to home visits by healthcare professionals to, quote, protect their children. There is an article that is available that you can view online. It is written by Paula Bolliard, and its title is Oregon become the first state to require in-home surveillance of newborn babies. So after I ran across the bill, did a little more research, ran across this article, into which she explains that if Kate Brown has her way, Oregon would become one of the first states that would require these in-home visits. So let me just quickly go through the bill as it is written, to just kind of give you an idea of what this proposal is. It says that this bill directs the Oregon Health Authority to study home visiting by licensed healthcare providers, requires report to interim committee of legislative assembly related to healthcare, and it sunsets on January 2nd of 2020. And they also declare this as an emergency, effective in its passage. So this bill's being done as a, quote, emergency. So here's what it states, and I'm just literally going to read it to you because it's not a very long bill, but I think this bill could ultimately lead to some violations of bare minimum our Fourth Amendment. And that's our national constitutional Fourth Amendment. I'm not sure what Oregon's constitutional says about it, but I'm pretty sure that it doesn't matter anyway, because the U.S. Constitution supersedes anything the state constitution might do. But it states that relating to home visits and declaring an emergency, be it enacted by the people of the state of Oregon, Section 1, the Oregon Health Authority shall study home visiting by licensed healthcare providers in the state. The authority shall submit findings and recommendations for legislation to an interim committee of the Legislative Assembly related to health care not later than December 31st, 2019. Section 1 of this 2019 Act repeals on January 2nd, 2020, and this 2019 Act being necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, and safety, an emergency is declared to exist, and in 2019 Act takes effect on its passage. So for some reason they're declaring some sort of emergency. I watch the news, read reports regularly in the state of Oregon. I haven't really seen anything that would be declared as an emergency for health care visitations into our homes. I haven't seen anything that makes it necessary. It's not to say that there aren't situations. As a former paramedic, I ran into situations where there was some elderly abuse taking place, ran into situations where there was child abuse taking place. But they were really few and far between. They were very sporadic. So what is the emergency now? What's gone on now? But what also irritates me is the move of the left lately is to exterminate more and more people. So, or I should state babies. I consider them people myself. I don't get it. They want to get rid of babies that are in the womb. In some cases, they don't even consider them a person while they're inside the mom's belly. And we've seen passage of bills and laws in New York, and a new one being proposed in Virginia, that are just absolutely sickening, in the fact that they're allowing abortion up into the due date. And like the one in Virginia, looks like even as the head's coming out, they can decide to kill the baby. That to me is just absolutely sick. And yet here we are making an act to protect in-home children. So they're wanting to protect children, it kind of looks like, maybe even elderly, and yet they're not willing to defend the life of the unborn. I don't understand it. I probably never will, but this is the mindset of the left. So I just wanted to bring this bill before you because I'm sure there's not a lot of people who have a lot of time spending time going through Oregon's bills that are proposed, but this one looks like just like 501 that I did a video on earlier related to the firearms. This bill looks like down the road it could have teeth that would ultimately violate our Fourth Amendment for unwarranted searches and seizures. So here you go. One more time, the wonderful liberal Democrats in the state are making another step forward in what they would probably consider the progression of our state, and what I call it as a progression towards socialism, violation of our rights, and ultimately a lack of freedom. So there we have it. One more time, State of Oregon passing a ridiculous bill. Look into it yourself. There's some information out there, but it is kind of vague because I just read to you the entirety of the bill, and it kind of leaves it open to where this could ultimately lead to. So anyway, another bad bill with Oregon. Have a good afternoon.